Welcome to Backlot 605. This is episode 3 coming at you from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I am your host, Casey, and with me as always is Brian.
What's up?
What's going on?
Not much.
We're ready to talk some movie news?
Absolutely.
Absolutely
Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. T-shirts coming soon. But with that being said, we got a lot of news to get to. This might be a longer episode, which I'm fine with. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I like talking movies as much as possible. So
yeah, that's kind of what the point of it is, right?
That's exactly what the point of it is. So
and, I'm probably going to deviate like 9,000 times.
As we always do.
We'll get back to it like 6 hours later.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a 6-hour podcast, thank you all for listening.
Thank you for getting
truly
all the way
appreciate
to the end.
it. But we got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be talking about the box office. We saw some movies this weekend that just got released, so we'll be talking about those. We also got plenty of other movie news, as well as trailer talk, week of trailers, I guess. And we're going to be talking about the late, great Stan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Just passed away this past week. And we're going to talk about our favorite Stan Lee cameos. And I think that'll be a lot of fun and spark a lot of conversation about what truly was a great man. And one of the, I would say, one of the most legendary pop culture figures of all time.
At this point, I think he's almost pretty much the legendary pop culture figure.
Oh, especially in like the nerddom.
Everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's get started with the box office. I think that's where we got to start this week, because this week we had 3 major releases, but getting to that, one of those major releases was Widows, pulling in the number 5 spot. Not doing as well as I thought it was going to.
No, you failed at that one.
I did. I think I picked it at 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it, topping Bohemian Rhapsody, and
Bohemian just slapped it across.
It did, and it's 3rd weekend out. It's pulling strong yet, so.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury's like, bitch, get back then.
Yeah, send these widows back. But, that pulled in $12.3 million this past weekend, so not bad. Heard decent reviews about it.
Mm-hmm. It's reviewing well.
It is. It has, a 90-something on Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah.
So that's doing pretty good. Number 4 was Instant Family, 14.7. Frickin' Mark Wahlberg taking over Widows, man.
You just don't like Mark Wahlberg.
I do. I love Mark Wahlberg, actually.
Unless he's in a Transformers movie.
Well, that's not his fault. He's okay in those, whatever. But the reason I'm mad at him this weekend is because he beat Widows.
Well, see, I think you took one thing out of the equation there. Rose Byrne is great.
Yeah, family comedy, Mark Wahlberg, Rose Byrne, they got it right. So can't complain about that. Number 3 was, as we said, Bohemian Rhapsody, 15.7, staying strong in its 3rd week out. That's pretty good.
That is very good.
It is, and I'm glad this movie's getting more recognition from fans, as the critics still poo-poo it, but who cares what the critics say sometimes? Just go to the movie and have some fun.
Absolutely. Actually, from what I've been seeing, people are having so much fun that it's actually bringing a lot of people into listening to the Queen music more, and they're getting back into the charts and once again after all these years too. So people listening and wanting to go back and just keep on the Queen train.
Mm-hmm. It could be one of those things where when Wayne's World came out, they had Bohemian Rhapsody, and it brought it up into the number 5 spot.
Oh,
for the first time in 10, 15 years or something. So.
Oh, that's because it's also Wayne's World.
That is Wayne's World. Great movie.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out if you haven't. So pulling in that number 2 spot was Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, pulling in $38.1 million. So those family comedies and family movies still sticking in that top 5.
Of course. I mean, it's that time of the year. It's Thanksgiving time frame, and everybody wants the good old happy movies. It's past Halloween. They're done with the horror. They're done with the scary. They want the good old family fun film.
They want the Benedict Cumberbatch coming at them. So I don't think that one's going to be leaving the top 5 really anytime soon.
No. In fact, it might actually fluctuate a little bit and kind of keep holding on. And I mean, even not take a big dip as it could be.
That's true. And it only took a 43.5% drop from last week. So that's really good for a new release movie. Well, we get to our number 1 box office film for the weekend. That is Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald, pulling in $62.2 million. So, yeah, as we expected from last week, number 1.
Oh, yeah. We knew that was going to happen.
We knew it. We called it.
Yeah.
It was all us.
Yep, right. Uh-huh.
All of us from two guys sitting in a basement here in South Dakota.
Yeah, exactly.
We knew what's happening. But yeah, so that was the top 5. But with that being said, you saw Fantastic Beasts this weekend.
I did.
What did you think?
I think there was a lot going on. It was good. I mean, in terms of the direction, the characters, the actors, everything was great. I think there was just too much going on. There's too many storylines, plot points, and everything that they're trying to get done in the 2-hour or however long time frame that it is. And it's almost like they needed to dial some of it back. They're just trying to develop too much. I mean, they introduced Nagini. They're introducing a whole brand new dynamic to you. Get to the end of the movie, you're like, oh, well, shit, I didn't see that coming, and now I'm going to have to see what happens when they bring in the third one. They need to get away from the Fantastic Beasts. Because outside of the fact that, yeah, there's some pretty cool animals things, mystical creature things in this movie, it has nothing to do with the premise of what the fantastical beasts and where to find them are, the whole book, the whole zoology mythos of the Harry Potter series.
So yeah, that's what I've heard mostly. It connects a lot more to the Harry Potter series, which I've only seen the first one 10 years ago.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't gotten into it for whatever reason it may be. So I didn't have any, obvious reason to go to this one. I'm a little behind, I would say.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But
that would only make you, let's see, if you saw the first movie, that means there's 7 Harry Potter movies, there's another Fantastic Beasts. Oh, yeah, you're a couple behind.
About 8 movies behind.
A little
bit. So overall, would you say to send people out to the theater for this one, or wait for home release, or just skip it altogether?
Oh, definitely not skip it. You definitely have to go see it. You have to see it one way, shape, or form. I would definitely say it's for the sake of the fantasy side of it, because we really don't get like the fantasy magic stuff in theaters, in terms of, I saw it in XD, and it's an absolutely gorgeous movie. David Yates did a good job in, providing this vision. I would just say it's going knowing that there's going to be a lot of shit going on for you to just be like trying to keep your head wrapped around who's what, when, where, why, what, and all that. Yeah.
So you wouldn't recommend it for a first-time Harry Potter fan?
No, especially if it's first time. They would definitely have to have watched the first Fantastic Beasts just to get some character point for, a half a dozen of these characters. And that doesn't even include the ones that they are introducing, and on top of the storylines that they're trying to weave out of the current ones.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald. What would you give it out of 5 if you were to give it a score?
I probably have to go like a 3. To comparing it to the original Fantastic Beasts, I'd have to say it's the lesser of the 2.
Okay, so with that being said, I didn't get to go watch Widows like I thought I was going to. Other stuff got in the way. But you know what? We had 2 movies released on Netflix this past weekend that I did watch. So sometimes you just got to do that. You got to stick at home, check out the new movies on Netflix, Hulu, whatever it may be.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, those are good quality flicks, just like Hulu's, the Netflix, the Crackle, Sony's Crackle. There's all sorts of, online streaming services now that provide, content that we're not getting in the theaters.
Absolutely. So I did have the chance to watch a movie we talked about, I believe, in our first episode, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Coen Brothers.
Coen Brothers film. As we said, it was limited theatrical release 2 weeks ago, and it dropped on Netflix this past week. It is a anthology drama comedy, very much in the vein of other Coen Brothers movies such as Fargo, where it's a lot of black comedy, dark comedy, and overall, it's an enjoyable movie. It has a lot of the same problems that other anthologies do. Other parts are better than some of the other stuff. I enjoyed the stuff with the actual Buster Scruggs character, which is actually the first part of the movie, with Tim Blake Nelson. That's where I felt this movie did a lot of comedy with that. And with that being said, I kind of wish this was actually just a television series and just did it's 6 different stories, so why not just do a 6-part TV series? Because each story is only about 15-20 minutes.
So you want to see it more developed into more like, would you even go like a short series, like a Fuller House, 22, 23 minutes, or are we talking like the 45-minute episode, almost hour long kind of show?
I say you would go you'd go to the 45 to an hour long episode. Give each character and story time to develop. That's what I felt was missing a lot in this. You only get 15-20 minutes with these characters, and then you're on to the next thing.
Don't get a lot of time to invest in.
Yeah, and the stuff that they do have is good. And I like the Old West setting a lot. And I just felt like it could have been a little longer for the time with these characters. And if they went, they're already dropping it on Netflix, so why not do a limited series? That was my thought for
Maybe that wasn't the intent when they were filming the movie, because at the time they didn't have distribution and they hadn't talked to Netflix yet.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. So, but Netflix picked it up, and it's an enjoyable time. You can watch it right now. It has as we said in our first episode, it has a really good cast, and I think Tim Blake Nelson is one of the standouts, as he always is. He's one of those underrated actors that pops up in, sometimes just random stuff, and he's sometimes the best part of it.
He's the Clint Howard of the Ron Howard films?
He is. He is the Coen brothers Clint Howard. Yep. It's exactly what it is. But I also had a chance to watch a new horror thriller that was dropped on Netflix this past weekend from Blumhouse Productions. It's called Cam. And have you heard about this movie at all? Until I brought it up, of course.
Of course not.
Of course, because I'm the frickin' weird horror nerd.
You are the horror nerd.
Yeah, so, I heard about this only about a week before that. But then I saw it dropped on Netflix, so I'm like, well, if I'm staying home, I might as well watch it. This movie is kind of about a cam girl who is trying to make her way in, to the top 50 girls in the world on this website, and along the way, she goes to do, a pairing show with another girl, and as soon as she leaves there, she finds that someone else has taken her account over and is posting videos, and this other woman looks exactly like her and acts like her and stuff like that. So, kind of a paranormal thriller almost.
Sounds just like I don't even have a response to that.
It's a little trippy, especially in the second half once it gets into her account getting taken over and another embodiment of her. But it's more of a metaphor than anything, which is why I really like horror movies, because you can have these weird stuff and it just means something else if you look into it. So, if you look into this other persona is her cam girl persona, and then her real one is herself, and trying to figure out how to balance the two and not let one take over the other. So
I'm just going to stand with the fact that, how did you randomly come across a cam girl horror thriller movie, that didn't show up on my Netflix queue.
I didn't stumble upon it. It came on my Bloody Disgusting website feed, so that I always follow. But it's a very good movie. It shows a different side. Have you ever seen the movie Unfriended?
No.
Okay, so you know how it takes place all on a computer screen?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a movie I watched at SuperCon called Livestream that was like a video game live stream horror movie. So it does a lot of that with this one.
Gotcha.
And I kind of like that. A
little bit different.
Yeah, it's different because a lot of places companies still use the found footage thing, and I think that's tired. It's over with.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is a new way to bring.
This is the new version of the found footage.
Exactly, and I like it, and it adds. It kind of almost just puts you right into the main character, almost like looking at it through their eyes, because you're seeing the screen that they're seeing. So, yeah, if you're into horror thrillers, I would definitely check it out. It's worth a watch, and it's on Netflix right now. So, yeah.
Okay. So going back to the question you gave me, how would you rate Buster Scruggs? How would you rate Cam?
Buster Scruggs, I would probably go what you did on Fantastic Beasts, a 3 out of 5. Give it a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It's better. It's good stuff is better than the worst stuff, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that one's an enjoyable watch. It's a little longer, as most Coen Brother movies are. But, you could even watch it in pieces, like a TV show. So, if you only have 20 minutes at a time, you only want to watch a little bit of it.
You just watch that one vignette.
Yep, and you jump in later. So, and then Cam,
lay off the porn.
hey, watch it. Probably a 4 out of 5. Streamlined hour-and-a-half movie. Has really good looking shots. Like, the colors in it are really vibrant, and that helps a lot with the movie. And yeah, I would say a solid 4 out of 5. It's not for everyone, obviously.
It's definitely not going to be for everyone.
No, but it's a good horror thriller, and kind of takes the genre and a new spin on it. So yeah,
that seems to be the go-to for Blumhouse lately.
Yeah, and surprisingly, this wasn't released in theaters for a Blumhouse movie, but it is rated R, and it's not going to appeal to their audience right now, which is pretty much everyone. Honestly, if you like, everyone goes to Blumhouse movies now. The Paranormal Activities, everyone went to around Halloween season. Happy Death Day is only PG-13, as we have talked about before, and that one, appealed to a lot of that teenage audience. This is going to appeal to adult audiences, obviously.
To the dirty men out there.
To the dirty men. Get out of here. Quit listening to our podcast, you dirty men. Let's talk about some more dirty men and Godzilla, King of the Monsters. He's not really a dirty man, but he's a dirty monster.
He's a dirty monster.
That was a bad
that's
segue.
A bad segue. Absolutely.
I guess men are monsters too, so.
Every one of us.
Yep.
Every one of us.
We're terrible. But yeah, as I said, Godzilla, King of the Monsters wrapped. And we got that because we got a picture from director Mike Dougherty, if I'm saying that right. But yeah, that movie is wrapped and will be in theaters this next summer.
I'm actually looking forward to that one. I've been a very big fan of the rebirth of Godzilla, the rebirth of King Kong that they have done. It's the movie monsters where you're actually getting good movie monsters as opposed to Universal giving us poor movie monsters.
Ugh, the Mummy.
The Mummy. Dracula Untold.
Hey, I like Dracula Untold.
I'm looking forward to it. For me, it'll be the first thing I have seen Millie Bobby Brown outside of Stranger Things. I think for the kid that she is, she's fantastic. She's got a huge career ahead of her. Was Vera
Farmiga.
Yeah, Vera Farmiga.
From Conjuring, Bates Motel.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's always just a good, solid person.
Yeah, I'm also very much looking forward to this movie. So we talked about, I don't know if you remember this, I think it was last week. I don't know. We talked about, I had one moment where Loki at the end of Thor the Dark World was one reason I cheered in the theater. Mm-hmm. My second reason was from the first Godzilla, when he takes the other monster's mouth and breathes fire into it.
Definitely.
I cheered out loud. So I am looking forward to this one. I haven't watched Kong Skull Island.
It's a good solid movie. Definitely worth the watch. And the other thing is, what I'm looking forward to is this Godzilla King of Monsters is the next step before they release Godzilla vs. King Kong, which is going to bring back Millie Bobby Brown. It's got Alexander Skarsgård in it, which some people will know that has played Tarzan. He played Eric on True Blood.
Is he going to be Tarzan in this movie?
No, but that would be hilarious.
That would be awesome. Then you can do the sequel to King Kong vs. Godzilla. King Kong vs. Godzilla
versus Tarzan.
Oh, you're welcome, Hollywood.
Hollywood. I'm going to say is my wife would be like, thank you. Check, please. I'm going to the theater.
But yeah, I am looking forward to this too. That first trailer that came out, it sold me right away.
Oh, yeah.
And it shows a ton of monsters, and apparently that's only like 1/3 of the monsters.
Yeah, they're definitely cashing in on the entire mythology that is Godzilla.
And from what I've heard, one of the biggest problems people had with the first Godzilla is that Godzilla wasn't hardly in the movie until that final fight. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of cutaways to a TV or closing the door as soon as Godzilla shows up, and you don't get to see the fight, which I've heard is not in this. And if you watch the trailer, it's a lot of Godzilla and a lot of monsters. So, and yeah, I love the director too, Mike Dougherty. Have you ever watched Trick or Treat?
Nope.
Have to. Great movie.
Of course, it says horror, you automatically say check, please.
Check, please. Except, no, his follow-up to that, Krampus, is a piece of shit. So, Krampus, don't watch it. Krampus.
It's a piece of Krampus?
It's a Krampus.
It's a Krampus.
I actually did I used to have a YouTube channel where I did movie reviews. My Krampus review has the most views out of all of them because I just shit on the movie for 20 minutes.
Well, if it
people
is what
love
it is.
when people love when you shit on movies.
Except for maybe the people that made said movie.
Yeah, but Mike, I would like to meet you sometime, and please make Trick or Treat too. Please do. What other news we got going on?
Well, I did, and this is something that I came across this yesterday. If this is something that people have known for a while, because I guess it's been under the radar for like a month, is YouTube is starting to provide movies on YouTube for free, and we're not talking like little pieces of crap.
Illegal downloaded movies, like The Room was a while ago, and Tommy Wiseau finally took it down, and
one of
said
many
he got
times.
hacked, and yeah.
No,
that's where I watched the Room for the first time illegally on YouTube.
Oh, and I've never seen it. Maybe it's because it's hard to get a hold of. Maybe.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Yeah. So anyway, what I found out though is YouTube is providing and obviously they're ad supported, so it's very Vudu-ish in terms of their free movies. Every so often there's going to be an ad and whatnot. But like for instance, you want to watch the original Terminator, 1984. Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can watch Terminator. You can watch all the original 4 Rocky movies on there. There's all sorts. I mean, and it's just a plethora of movies. Once we get this up and going and whatnot, I'm going to actually provide the link to the Reddit article because there's a really good grid in there that's going to have you the movie, what year did it come out, what's the Rotten Tomato score, is it certified fresh, and includes the YouTube link to get you right to the movie. So you just go right down the list and find the one you want to watch and click, you're there.
Absolutely. I think our fans will really enjoy that. I've used the Vudu free one a lot because they get a lot of stuff you can't really find anywhere else. So I was catching up just in the last 2 months on a lot of 70s and 80s horror movies. A lot of Italian ones are on Vudu, so like if they can get stuff like that on YouTube where it's hard to get, I'm all in.
It did seem from when I was looking for stuff around, it looks like there's a lot of overlap for the YouTube ones and Vudu and whatnot, so it might possibly be that they're just kind of into that part of their domain, if you will, of the studios have made their money, who cares, whatnot, but hey, I've only watched like the first 1 or 2 Rocky movies. Makes me sad to say that out loud, but hey, now I can sit and watch them all if I really wanted to.
You have to.
Don't cry. I can see the tears.
I will cry because you missed basically a documentary on how the Cold War ended in Rocky IV, which is basically, that is homework for Creed 2, which we will talk about later. So yeah, I think that one's on Vudu too, all the Rocky movies. So. But no excuses for you people out there who haven't watched any of the Rocky movies. Watch them.
I don't have off the top of my head, but as I say, just going through that list here, there's quite a few good movies. And if you don't mind the few ads here and there, I mean, it's just like almost like watching it on TV. However, they're not condensed for time and they're not edited for language or anything like that. They're the movie that you expect to get.
Yeah, they're not the weird dubbed movies like when you watch Die Hard on TV. Bad stuff. So, I think that's really cool. And one of the other things we're talking about, I guess you could call YouTube, is still jumping in that streaming service stuff with YouTube Red, and now they're free movies with ads. But one of the big news this week is A24 is teaming up with Apple.
Yes.
To release, how many movies was it?
They didn't say yet. I don't think they said. No. Other than that they were partnering with Apple to create brand new content specifically for the Apple.
Yeah, exclusively.
So, for instance, anybody who has an Apple device is going to be able to, watch any and all these movies that are going to be produced directly for Apple. So, I mean, the first part I thought was how many people are going to be like, well, I don't have an Apple device, so I won't have this movie. Well, to me, that's no different than all of the free content that, one would get for Amazon Prime or I can't watch a whole bunch of stuff because I don't subscribe to YouTube Red, so, it is what it is, and
well, Verizon has their own content that they've had before that you can't get unless you have Verizon. Mm-hmm. So it's not nothing new.
It's nothing new.
But yeah, A24, if you don't know them, they're one of the biggest independent movie companies out there right now.
Yeah.
Just this year was mid-90s, 8th Grade, First Reformed. In the past, it was...
Well, they've got,
Room was their biggest one.
Moonlight.
Not The Room, just Room.
Just Room. Yep, Moonlight, The Lobster with Colin Farrell.
Big, these are Oscar-type movies that they get, and to see them partnering up with Apple, I'm lucky I have an Apple device so I can watch this stuff, so I'm looking forward to it.
And they're all going to be free movies.
Yeah.
It's just going to be similar to, their free TV shows that they've been doing on their Apple Music with, the carpool karaoke. I'm definitely looking forward to it because it's not like it's just, oh, well, we just picked this up, we picked this up. I mean, it's more the art house kind of style of movies. You're going to get more of a substance more than a popcorn movie.
Absolutely, because one of my favorite A24 movies is called The Ghost Story, that has Casey Affleck in it, and Rooney Mara, and that is one of the most artsy-fartsy movies you're going to ever watch, but it's super powerful, and only can A24 make movies like that right now that will reach mass audiences.
I will spin this a little bit for A24, is they are definitely known for the art house and everything like that, but we also have to take into consideration that, they do also happen to be the ones that produced the current Kevin Smith movies, so like Tusk and Yoga Hosers and Red State and whatnot. Pretty sure they have Red State. I know they have Tusk. And
I want to say Red State is.
Yes, and so they're willing. They're willing to go out there for people who are not going to get the backing from your Universals, your Paramount, your Warner Brothers. A24 is willing to take that risk on someone. You look at a movie like Kevin Smith's Tusk or Yoga Hosers.
Red State even.
Even Red State. They're not your typical 4 movies. They're not the movies that people would be like, oh, that's a Kevin Smith movie. That's hey, he got somebody who was willing to back him up on his dream, his vision of what he wanted to make out of those. And I mean, you look at the movies like Room and Moonlight, and I would imagine there's probably some of those ones, especially with those two specifically, they probably did go to a Warner Brothers or a Paramount or something like that, and they're just that's just not going to work for us.
And here they're waving their Oscar trophies at them now.
Back and forth.
Yep.
Mahershala Ali.
Yep, and Brie Larson and Moonlight won in controversial fashion with La La Land.
Oh, that was bad.
That was. I think it's hilarious. Just because La La Land is a little overrated.
I think part of it is the dynamic of the chemistry between Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling.
Oh, absolutely. And I dig La La Land. I just do think it is a little overrated. Shouldn't have been even close to Best Picture, let alone Best Song, because Sing Street had Best Song that year. I will fight anyone on that ever. So
I'm waiting for the boxing gloves to come out.
They will. This weekend with Creed 2. But I'm very much looking forward to the Apple A24 combo, and maybe a Kevin Smith movie can get on there.
Oh,
maybe that's how we get Moose Jaws.
Maybe that's how we get Moose Jaws. Maybe that's how we finally get...
It's just all Kevin Smith movies.
Oh, hey, Netflix can keep Adam Sandler. A24 and Apple can have Kevin Smith. I'd be okay with that.
I think A24 wins that battle then.
Then, actually, on that note, side note,
we never do those.
No, not at all. That's not me at all. No. Recently just released, or soon to be released, on at least iTunes anyway, is Kevin Smith's Silent But Deadly, the stand-up show that he was doing the day that he had his heart attack. So that is actually something I've been looking forward to seeing, just to see what basically, because you can almost picture what was that day going to be like, because he didn't get a chance to even record that second session for that show. And
that could be a whole documentary right there to go along with it. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know.
I think it'd be cool, and you would hope that he would have, hopefully he would have thought to do that, and everybody just start record, just record everything.
Yep.
But that's not going to happen.
All right, we got any other news you want to talk about, or?
Actually, for the sake of just sheer curiosity, it looks like Disney has his name is Travis Knight on the short list for possibly doing Guardians 3. I still don't know what I think about this because of the whole James Gunn thing. I'm totally behind James Gunn on all this stuff here. And, you know, at first, because frankly, I never heard of the guy. But, you know, I've come to the realization when it comes to Disney's choices in directors or casting or everything like that, Marvel knows what they're doing, and I forever trust in Feige.
T-shirts coming soon. Trust in Feige.
Trust in Feige. Hashtag trust in Feige. He's the guy. He did Box Trolls. He did Paranorm. He did Caroline. Most recently, he did Kubo and the Two Strings. So, you know, this is the guy who is going to take on a live action movie who's most known for stop motion and CGI movies and stuff like that.
He's also doing the new Bumblebee movie, right?
Yep. And I think that's possibly why he's getting this potential segue is we're seeing
we'll see how he does on Bumblebee and his first forte into live action.
Exactly. You know, and part of me is like, you know, you trust the animation guy to do a live action if he's never done a live action, and then I step back and I say, Brad Bird, the guy behind The Incredibles and Ratatouille, did Mission Impossible and did it beautifully. So don't ever just assume that just because they know how to direct a bunch of computer artists doesn't mean they can't direct an actual human being.
Yep.
No, so I'm intrigued, and it kind of makes me want to, you know, check out a couple of these. For me, they're kids movies, and at the time they came out, I didn't have kids, so it wasn't.
Oh, you haven't watched any of those?
No, they weren't. They, you know, again, they weren't quite on my list of, hey, we should watch this, you know, as opposed to like the 19,000 times I've watched, you know, like Trolls and Cars and all these things now that my kids are watching them. And,
you know, it doesn't help my girlfriend's obsessed with stop motion movies. Like Nightmare Before Christmas is her favorite movie, and she loves Coraline and Paranorman, so I have to watch all those whenever she wants to. So they're good movies though.
Are they good movies?
Yeah, Coraline is really messed up for a kids movie. She like goes into an alternate reality, and it has like an alternate version of her parents, except their eyes are gone and they're replaced with buttons.
That is disturbing.
It is very disturbing for a kids movie. So yeah, I give him a chance. We'll see how Bumblebee is. It's a Transformers movie to me. But I'm looking forward to it, if only for one thing.
And what's that?
Insert John Cena meme right here.
Insert John Cena.
Insert
the music right here.
Yeah.
I have to say, the very first trailer that I saw for Bumblebee, I was saddened, and it made me sad to see when I saw Cena on the screen, in that we're told that this movie takes place obviously before the Transformers franchise, and it is supposed to take place in the 80s. I needed to see John Cena with the, like, big, huge mullet haircut. And of course, no, what do we get? We get military Cena.
Which we've seen for 10 years in WWE.
Even outside the WWE, the Marine.
Obviously. Yep.
Or, you know,
12 rounds.
12 rounds, you know. But at the same time, too, you know, the guy can do funny. So, it's like, you could have easily done something else. I mean, just because you can cast him as a military guy doesn't mean you should cast him as a military guy.
From what it looks like in the trailer, he's kind of the antagonist, isn't he? Like at least the human antagonist.
I haven't quite figured that out yet.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But it's John Cena. He'll probably end up switching. But I thought you were going with this, that you wanted to see Mark Wahlberg and John Cena together.
Oh,
I want to see that.
I would see that, and I would also want to see Cena beat the living shit out of Mark Wahlberg.
I would be down with that. It'd be a good fight between some Boston boys there.
Yeah, but so do we go all like hard action popcorn flick, or do we go like Mark Wahlberg Ted meets like John Cena from Blockers? They can both do funny.
I say you combine the both, where they're spewing off one-liners as they're kicking the shit out of each other.
That could work.
Like a Jason Statham, The Rock, in the Fast and the Furious movies.
Ooh.
Which I'm looking forward to their movie together a lot.
I do want to see Hobbs and Shaw.
Yep.
Yes.
And I think two actors that need to eventually make their way into that franchise, Mark Wahlberg and John Cena.
I would be okay
Kick
with
out
that.
Vin Diesel. We don't need him anymore.
Vin Diesel, if not, just...
Kick out Tyrese, actually.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
And no, because I know that we brought this up a little bit. The Bad Boys thing is they've released the title for Bad Boys 3. And I'm kind of sad how they did it, because...
It's not just Bad Boys 3?
No. But they used the title that I want to see for Bad Boys 4.
The Bad Boys for Life?
They did Bad Boys for Life. That is the title for Bad Boys 3, except the E in life is 3.
Well, you could do a Fast and the Furious thing where the 4 in the next movie is the letter, or the number 4.
We're just going to do Bad Boys for Life, Part 2.
For life.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
So, I'm still looking
They still got to make this movie first. Like, can't be jumping too far ahead. Took how many years for us to get to Bad Boys 3?
15.
Yeah. So.
But it sounds like they're going into pre-production come January.
All right. So I think we got one more piece of news before we get to our trailers. Jared Leto has released an image of him shaved. I guess not quite an image, like a little weird video kind of thing. Okay.
He posted on Twitter. There was speculation.
Jared Leto doing something weird? Never
at all. No, there was speculation that Sony killed the Morbius movie. That's supposed to be another. Hey, let's make a Spider-Man villain anti-hero movie without Spider-Man, and it's supposed to be with Jared Leto, but all of a sudden he drops on Twitter this really weird video of watching him shave his epic
Jesus beard.
I call it his 30 Seconds to Mars beard. You know, his epic rock beard.
That's the only thing. I went and watched 30 Seconds this summer, and that's the only thing I could see from how far we were back was his beard.
Well, I couldn't even see. Well, when I seen him, which was 17 years ago,
when they were good yet,
he wasn't rocking a beard. Yeah, that's perception.
That's coming up on our music podcast from Backlot 605.
We gotta have a music podcast first,
and we'll start one.
So no,
anyway.
The only reason, other than the fact that how he tagged the video, the very last clip of the video that he put up has a comic image of Morbius's teeth with the word Morbius in it. So, you know, people are like, it's Jared Leto. I think they still have a weird taste in the mouth because of Joker and Suicide Squad, but I think it's a matter of he's a very creative, he's a very out there individual, he's a very theatrical actor, and I think just let him do his thing, and he will give you the product, you know, that comes of it. It can be good, it can be bad.
I'm into it. I'd rather have him as Morbius than the Joker. We saw his Joker. It's what it is. It's not terrible. It's not the worst Joker, but it's
not the worst Joker. And I still think that there's more that's on that cutting room floor that we didn't get to see.
DC released the Joker cut, but I want to see Jared Leto as a vampire.
Yes.
He probably already is one, so
he's got the look.
He definitely has drank blood before, so yeah, I'm into it. Let's make it happen. But Sony, get Spider-Man into these movies if you're gonna do it,
please.
Yeah. I didn't watch Venom yet, but I guess one of the biggest complaints people have, there's no Spider-Man. Where's Spider-Man? Well, obviously Venom, especially with Venom, you gotta have Spider-Man, but. Same with Morbius. You should probably have Spider-Man.
And you know they won't.
No. But if we're going to do it, like maybe connect Venom to it, I don't know. Venom and what were the other ones they were going to do? Like,
well, there's Carnage.
Yeah, Carnage I watched that after credit scene. I didn't watch Venom yet, but I watched the after credit scene. It looks stupid.
No.
The Carnage. Have you watched that?
No.
It's no spoilers really. It's Woody Harrelson in a freaking Annie wig.
Okay, now I think I might actually have to watch that.
You have to, and it looks bad. But Yeah, I still want to see Venom because it's Venom. He's a cool character.
Yeah, he's a cool character, but I think Sony's screwing it up.
Like a turd in the wind.
But that's just it. I mean,
Why do you give him weird freaking lines like that? That's, I don't know. Whatever.
Yes, very.
Should we move on from
Yes,
turds
please.
in the wind?
Venom's leaving a bad taste in my mouth.
We can talk about another turd in the wind when we're going to talk about our trailers.
Okay, how's that a turd in the wind?
For you, it's one we're going to talk about, Leprechaun Returns.
That is a turd in the wind.
Yes. So that one comes.
We're going to just get that one out of the way.
Yeah. For you, it's none of the Leprechaun movies are good. They're bad. They're all like the worst Chucky movies. So.
No, the worst Chucky movie is the one that they're working on.
Yeah, the new reboot where he's a frickin' a buddy doll with an eye.
Well,
instead of a good guy doll.
Instead of a good guy doll, he's a buddy doll, and the king spelled buddy correct. That's Buddi.
Unless that's an actual thing where a company actually owns the rights of Buddy, like Buddy.
I don't know.
Maybe, that could be.
I don't know. Then maybe make it a good guy doll. I don't know. It's strange.
Maybe they might not have the rights to that.
Or how about this also too? The doll, his name is Chucky. So, I'm.
They're not even going the Charles Lee Ray thing, are they?
Nope.
Which I'm like, fuck this movie.
No, I'm done. I'm out.
Like, why would you do it? They're still working on the original series stuff with the original creator and Brad Dourif.
Yes,
and
for the TV show.
Yeah, the TV show and another movie.
Yeah. No.
So
with this,
whatever
this is,
this thing,
I'm checked out. I'm done. No.
Yeah, I like Aubrey Plaza. Is that it? That's about all I can say good about it.
Okay, so if she's connected to it, awesome. But outside of that,
she's
playing, not the saving grace.
Yeah, she's playing Andy's mom, which whatever.
No.
Anyway, back to Leprechaun.
No. Oh yeah.
Leprechaun Returns coming to VOD December 11th. The trailer was just released. You didn't watch it?
Nope.
You don't care?
No,
that's fine. I get it.
Was it just as bad as it should have been?
Yeah. So it's going the Halloween route,
where
it's ignoring all the shitty sequels to the shitty first movie of this one. It's skipping him going to space and in the hood, all that garbage, and it's going back to the original, which I like. They do have an original character in this movie, Oz, who was kind of the slow, quote-unquote, idiot in the movie. But he's one of the best characters and the best things about that first Leprechaun movie. I believe one of the main characters, it's about basically these girls moving to the original house where the original well is, and the Leprechaun's still in the bottom of the well. And these girls are like starting a sorority house. And I guess it just so happens that one of the girls there is the younger sister to Jennifer Aniston's character from the first movie.
Oh, convenient.
Yeah. Which, whatever. I like that it ties back, but it's a stupid horror movie. I'm into it.
Yeah, well, I'm also checked out because there's no Warwick Davis.
But this guy, he does a good job for not being Warwick Davis. I will agree with that. It's like Freddy.
Yeah.
You need Robert Englund for Freddy, you need Warwick Davis for the Leprechaun.
Exactly. Yeah, no. Again.
This guy does fine. He looks a little bit like Jeepers Creepers monster combined with Leprechaun, so.
So he's a short Jeeper Creeper.
That's pretty much what he is.
I'm waiting for the wings to pop out.
I do want to see a Leprechaun fly now.
Right?
That'd be funny. But, yeah, that one comes out on VOD, so you know it's going to be shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'll watch it when it comes on. I'll watch it when it comes on Netflix.
Even the people who made the movie are like, shit, we're not going to get this distributed just to put it on VOD.
Yeah. We'll make $5 at Walmart, and that's how much our budget was, so.
Mm-hmm.
The next one, let's jump to Fighting with Our Family.
Fighting with my family.
Fighting with my family, my bad.
Okay.
This comes from The Rock's $7 Productions.
Yes.
Starring said The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. It is about WWE superstar Paige and her, I guess, journey to getting into the WWE.
So is it really a starring The Rock if it's about Paige?
That's the thing.
You're not making sense to me here.
No, and it doesn't to me in the movie either, because there is a lot of The Rock attached to everything about this movie. And I don't really know too much about the backstory of Paige and her family and stuff. But I know she comes from a wrestling family in England and stuff like that. So I don't know how much The Rock actually ties into their actual story besides it's his production company making the movie, and it's about WWE, so yep, we gotta have The Rock in it.
I think it's more of just he's probably going to be in where he needs to be, and then it's gonna because I mean you've got a good solid cast for that movie for being
Nick Simon, or not Nick Simon, Nick Frost.
Get your names correct there, man. Come on. No, I was gonna say
he looks awesome
for being a movie about a current WWE wrestler or general manager because she can't wrestle anymore, but that's a whole different topic. You know, I'm intrigued because this isn't the kind. It's not the kind of thing you would expect to see a movie be made about. You know, you don't hear about a big budget movie or even a medium budget movie to be made about the life of somebody who most people won't know about. You know, there's the big heavy hitters like The Rock or maybe John Cena or somebody like that from the WWE that people know. Outside of the WWE community, how many people are going to know two flying shits at who the hell Paige is?
No. And that's why I think The Rock is all over this trailer.
Yeah. And, yeah, it's definitely a selling point. But
where he's playing himself.
He's playing a very good version of himself.
He's playing his The Rock character.
Yes.
Which it's awesome, as always.
But, I mean, in terms of, like, the supporting cast, I mean, yeah, you've got The Rock. You've got Nick Frost from Shaun of the Dead. You've got Lena Headey from Game of Thrones. You have Vince Vaughn, which there's all sorts of dodgeball, you know.
Yeah. Well, when I first heard about this movie, Vince Vaughn was one of the first names I heard besides The Rock in this movie, and for the longest time I had heard he was Jake the Snake Roberts. But it turns out he's just going to be some WWE official.
Yeah, it looks like he's like a trainer.
Yeah.
And then
for the longest time I had heard Jake Roberts was going to be in it because he spent a lot of time, I guess, with Paige's family, but...
And who knows, maybe he still shows up.
I want to see some more who they're going to cast as WWE wrestlers. Because I know they have cast...
Sheamus is in there.
Yep, Sheamus. AJ is in there. I think at least one or both of the Bellas. I want to see who they're going to cast as Vince, though. Because that's the biggest person I think you could ever make a wrestling movie about, is Vince McMahon.
And nobody would want to see it.
I would... Come on.
And I do have to go back to one other person that's in this movie that intrigues me and why I want to see it. Stephen Root. And if anybody doesn't know who Stephen Root is, just watch Office Space and watch for Milton.
And Dodgeball.
And Dodgeball and all sorts of things. Stephen Root is absolutely amazing, and I think I would, just for the supporting cast, I would want to go see that. And overall, in terms of the story, I think it looks very well written and very well rounded. That I think it legitimately would be a good movie. Now, do I think it's going to be a box office crusher? No, because wrestling's not everybody's gig. I mean, even for a comedy, drama, biopic kind of movie that it is, it's not going to draw enough people to probably even break the top 5. But I still think it would be a good movie to see.
Oh, I think it'll break it's not going to be. I don't think it'll break top 3. I think it will be in the top 5 its first weekend out. It's got that WWE money behind it. They're going to push it hard.
It's got the money that I don't think it's going to break it.
You got there's a lot of WWE fans, and they'll jump out to that. Think about it. This is the first WWE movie, pretty much, in terms of, like, that's an actual thing. You know what I mean?
Where have you been?
What are you talking about?
Mr. Horror Man didn't go see No Evil with Kane.
No,
that's a WWE movie.
So was all the Marine movies. I mean, like, where WWE is an actual company within the movie. And it's about a wrestler going to you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Ready to Rumble. Great movie. We will do a whole show on Ready to Rumble. It'll probably be by myself, but someday I will talk about that.
I have to say, I didn't actually get a chance to look at it much here. I don't remember what exactly it was for, but there was some sort of wrestling thing that David Arquette just did within the last couple of days, and he got the living shit kicked out of him.
He just did a death match with, I believe the guy's name is Brian Cage, who is a death match wrestler. If you don't know what that is the most freaking terrifying thing you could ever do in professional wrestling, where they freaking use cinder blocks and light bulbs and glass. And David Arquette, the actor from Scream, Ready to Rumble,
mm-hmm.
in tons of other movies. He's making, I guess, a documentary right now about his journey of becoming a professional wrestler now in his 40s or 50s.
Well, I mean, he's always been a huge fan.
Yes,
so it's not like he was making something to be like, I'm just gonna do this. No, this is something he truly enjoys.
Yeah, and he's been training for it. And as you said, was in a death match, and he did get the living shit kicked out of him. So, but props to him.
The one picture that I saw, just a bloody mess.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So props to David Arquette. Please make Ready to Rumble too.
Do we get to bring Scott Conn back?
I actually watched an interview with David Arquette earlier today where he was talking about it was like his lead up to the death match and stuff like that. And they asked him, like, when's Ready to Rumble 2 coming out? And that's one of the reasons they can't make it happen, because he won't come back.
Scott won't? Oh.
Yeah. He's moved on past the wrestling comedy stuff.
Well, then he's making too much money at that Hawaii Five-0 money.
Yeah. So do it where he gets a cameo and David Arquette's the main character. That's fine.
Maybe.
Him and Oliver Platt can do it.
There you go.
Jimmy the King. Bring him back.
All right. So what's the next trailer that we find amusing that we need to talk about today?
Do we want to jump into me getting angry or me feeling like a child again? But then you have to guess which one of those is.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with.
I'll let you throw it out and I'll talk.
Well, I'm just gonna talk about it just because I think I'm. When I heard about this, I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" When I actually saw the trailer for it, I went, "I kind of want to see this." And that was the Detective Pikachu with Ryan Reynolds and Justin. What I lost his name.
Justin Shitty Hipster from Fallen Kingdom.
Justin Smith.
Yep. Shitty Hipster from Fallen Kingdom.
Hey, I'm gonna give that kid credit for one thing. Is the fact that you're just like he's the shitty guy from Jurassic World, but if you look at his filmography, it's like an inch thick. There's like nothing to it. And prior to Jurassic World, he's got a few like indie movies like Paper Towns. Nothing that a lot of people nobody has even seen. So then now he's getting into these big budget blockbuster type movies. That's for somebody like him, that's huge.
Oh yeah, it's good for him. He's got a good agent to get him into Jurassic World and then now the first live action Pokemon.
Right.
Which is the reason I have a problem with this movie. I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, but a lot of my friends are, and I'm like, this is the movie you're gonna start. The first live action Pokemon movie you're gonna start with. Which, from what I understand, Detective Pikachu is a video game, which is basically a spin-off of the main Pokemon storyline. So it's like, why would you start your movies off with the spin-off?
They're probably
besides the Ryan Reynolds hype train that is right now.
Oh, that's a train that's been going on for years. But I think it's just because that Pikachu is like the most well-known Pokemon, out of how many hundreds that there are. And, they need to be able to have that one. They need that pull. And I think if they tried to, you've got the other, Squirtle, Charizard. You got the three, the main ones.
Yep.
But, that is the one that everybody knows whether you're a Pokemon fan or not. Everybody fucking knows Pikachu.
Yep.
Now, to see, because when I heard Ryan Reynolds was attached, big ol' question mark. And then they said, he's playing Pikachu. I'm like, bigger question mark.
Like, is he just going to make the Pika Pika sounds?
Well, that's just it. I immediately thought are we getting a Ryan Reynolds doing Pikachu like Vin Diesel doing Groot? Now, that's not to make any knock towards Vin Diesel, because if you can do I Am Groot in 26 languages, yeah, don't bitch about him. But no, just the fact that, there is a language there, and that nobody, unless you're of whatever these creatures are, can understand, except for this one kid gets to be able to hear him, and he talks like Ryan Reynolds. That, to me, is fantastic. To have, the Ryan Reynolds attitude in this little 2-inch, whatever size a Pokemon is or whatnot. I'm legitimately intrigued. I have a friend of mine who's he loves his Pokemon in terms of the games and stuff like that. The first thing he said was, "It's weird seeing Pikachu with fur," and I'm thinking like, what's he supposed to look like then?
Yeah, especially in live action form.
Yeah, you know,
be smooth.
He's too furry. I'm like, well, no, you know, I picture he to me looks like a mouse, like a rodent, like a rabbit, like a kind of thing. So I expect when he came to live action, fucker's gonna be furry.
Yeah.
Hell, holy shit.
I think all the Pokemon look really good. I cheered when Charizard showed up.
Yes.
Because Charizard's awesome. But, I don't know, it just feels weird having Deadpool come out of Pikachu.
No, but have you seen the meme going through online in regards to comparing Pikachu to Deadpool?
No, I've heard of a different one, but go ahead with yours.
Well, so it's literally like, you know, height, this to this here. But at the very bottom of this list of different things that comparing Pikachu to Deadpool was family friendly. And Pikachu is always Deadpool, December 12th through December 24th.
That's when he's family friendly.
That's when he's family friendly. Is during the 2 weeks where he's going to be back in theaters for a PG-13 Deadpool 2.
Yeah, the thing I saw was if Detective Pikachu was voiced by Danny DeVito. Which apparently a lot of the fans wanted was Danny DeVito, but someone dubbed over the trailer with different lines from Danny DeVito's character of Frank Reynolds in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So
you might have to find that link so we can share that.
I definitely will. It's funny. So yeah, I'll watch it. I can't get used to Ryan Reynolds' voice coming out of Pikachu, but maybe it'll win me over.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, all we've heard is 2 minutes worth. You know, once we get a full-on movie and you realize that, oh shit, this actually does work.
I hope it proves me wrong, because then we can get more Pokemon movies, which will then lead to Digimon movies, which I'm all for.
Now you've lost me.
I know. Showing my young age.
Digimon, jeez.
Digital monsters.
Oh, I know what they are.
Oh, they're awesome. They're better than Pokemon.
You millennials.
Anyway, what else we got?
Toy Story 4 dropped 2 trailers in like 48 hours.
Yep.
Two teasers, which introduced. We've got in a matter of 2 teaser trailers, we have 3 brand new characters introduced. Which, again, I think they're going a really good way. But the very first one, it's almost just like a little look. You know, everybody's happy and just go lucky and everything like that. And then we see this little spork-looking handmade toy thing
with like yarn for arms.
Yep, it goes absolutely batshit crazy. Second trailer, these 2 stuffed animals that look like they're in a carnival or making fun of the To Infinity and Beyond, which go to find are voiced by Key and Peele.
Yep. Which
I was probably going to go see Toy Story 4 anyway. Key and Peele just added to the mix. I'm in. You know, that is a good combo to have for a dual. If you're going to bring on a dual set of characters like that, you have to have
bring in Key and Peele.
You bring Key and Peele, yes.
Yeah. So I watched both. They're fun teasers. I don't think you really need to have a full trailer. It's Toy Story 4.
I don't think it's fucking necessary.
I didn't think. Well,
they will sell out.
Yeah.
They will take the number 1 when that fucker comes out.
Easily.
It is going to take number 1 for like a month.
Easily, and I don't know where you could go. I guess with a story, which is I'm fine with them not telling us what that story is, because the way the third one ends is perfect. Like I remember watching that. That's my family never goes to movies together, but that's actually one we went to, like with my parents and then my brother and sister. We all went and watched it because Toy Story was kind of this thing we all grew up with. Like I grew up with the first one, the second one, me and my sister. Then my brother hopped on when we got to the third one, because that's about how old he was getting in the Toy Story.
And everybody went home crying.
And I went home crying, and I'm freaking 17 years old at the time. Shouldn't be crying during a Toy Story movie, but it got me. And yeah, it had this perfect ending, and I think there is room to keep going. And I'm glad that they are. You know, I heard one of the rumored stories was Woody trying to find Bo Peep, which maybe we'll get in this one, maybe we'll get in another one. I'm fine with that. So yeah, I think they're good teasers. That's all you need.
No, as I said.
With franchises like Toy Story or Star Wars or even like Avengers, you don't need a full trailer.
No.
Just give a teaser and that's it.
Just give us enough of what we need. And also, at least, we waited how many years to get a fourth one, which we didn't even know if we were going to be getting a fourth one.
2011?
But at least it wasn't the, 15 years it took us to get Incredibles 2?
Yep.
That was the movie where I enjoyed the first Incredibles. I'm like, bitch, why did it take me this long to get a sequel? I'm still waiting for my sequel to Bug's Life.
Bug's Life is great.
Bug's Life is amazing good, and I really wish that they would have made.
Yeah. Bug's Life, because I grew up watching all these early Pixar movies, and Bug's Life was one of my favorites. It was the second one, I believe, right after Toy Story. And yeah, I would like to see a sequel for it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't give us a Frozen 2, give us a Bug's Life 2.
Right, exactly.
Let's start a petition online.
We've got all of these good old ones that could easily, take in another one and, keep getting. I'm not saying that the other ones are bad movies. They're all great, but it's like you have these other franchises.
Cars.
Hey, I like Cars 3.
I haven't watched that one yet. Cars 2 is just bad. Really bad.
I will be the person to say I disagree with you, only because most of the qualms that I get out of people about Cars 2 is that it's a spy movie. Not that because it was bad voice acting. Michael Caine's great in it.
Oh, I don't have a problem with that. It's like, why is Mater the main character?
Why not?
Mater is the most annoying character in all those movies.
No.
No.
When we first got Cars and Mater was introduced as probably Larry the Cable Guy, you're like, what the fuck?
I'm still like that.
He makes that character. The short films that they did for the Mater Tales and whatnot, no. It was nice.
Well, Prilosec isn't going to pay all of Larry the Cable Guy's bills, so.
Not after he broke that one kid's arm.
Did he break a kid's arm?
Google it.
On what? Jingle All the Way 2, or?
No. He was visiting some sort of fan, and they were fucking around, and they decided to arm wrestle, and he legit broke the kid's arm. Not intentionally, but broke the kid's arm. There's a bit you can find. It's online. At least it was that's how I saw it.
Let's put a link to it. And
I will have to find it. Yes.
Larry the Cable Guy breaking a little child's arm.
He wasn't a little kid. He's probably teenager, mid-20s maybe, give or take.
Oh.
Whatnot, old enough to be a fan. But yeah. Oh yeah, it broke it real good. The look on his face, like, oh shit, what the fuck did I do?
That's alright. Anyway, we got one more trailer to talk about.
Yeah, but at least Toy Story, I just want to quick say it's just that the overall cast, I think it'll be great. I think, they're only adding more to it, and as long as they keep even some of the newer ones that they've added, like, make sure you bring back Michael Keaton as Ken, because all of them, they've only added by bringing in some of these newer talents. Attila, Battle Angel. Does it look like something that is probably going to flop at the box office? Probably. Because it is your live action movie based off of a Japanese anime. Not a lot of people get behind it. Now, I really wish that people would, and I hope this works for a multitude of reasons. Number one, it looks beautiful. It's directed by Robert Rodriguez, which is known for, Sin City, and he's known for Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Spy
Kids. 3D. Ugh.
Okay, so just don't.
I'm leaning more on that side of Robert Rodriguez for this one for me, but I'll...
No.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say this. Just don't bring up Shark Boy and Lava Girl. My wife gets angry when I bring that up because that's had very young Taylor Lautner in it.
So it's like weird for her to watch it, or?
No. Anyway, no. For the sake of the type of vision that Robert Rodriguez has, the Faculty, I'm going with the. Yes, there's two versions of Troublemaker. There is the adult Sin City, the Faculty. There is those kinds, and then there is his kids' movies. He makes movies that he can have his kids see, which, personally, I think that is very, very noble of him. He's got two sides to Troublemaker Studios. He's got his kid's side of it, and he's got his adult side of it.
Yeah, he somehow combines them because the character of Machete is in Spy Kids.
Yes, Uncle Machete.
How freaking terrifying is that to think of?
Because
George Lopez is in the same universe as
Machete. But we are talking a movie directed by Robert Rodriguez that is written and produced by James Cameron, probably the filthiest director on the planet.
Did you just call James Cameron filthy?
Filthy rich.
Okay.
Filthy rich.
He might be filthy too. I don't know. He spends a lot of time on the ocean.
Right. You don't know that. But you figure Titanic and Avatar and
Terminator.
Well, yeah, but I'm just for those Titanic and Avatar, he didn't have to work again in his life. So directed by Robert Rodriguez, written by James Cameron. We have a multitude of Oscar-winning people involved with this movie. Christoph Waltz, who got his Oscars courtesy of Tarantino movies. We've got Jennifer Connelly. We have Mahershala Ali from Moonlight. We've got, that's it. Yeah, those are the ones I have on it. You've got Oscar caliber talent behind a movie. You've got Oscar-winning writing. So your only loose end kind of is Robert Rodriguez hasn't won any fancy awards that everybody would be happy for.
He's probably won some Teen Nick awards.
But at the same time too, though, you're not wrong. That's probably true. But this is also the same guy that isn't doing it for the awards, though, too. This is the guy that actually left, my understanding is he left the DGA because they wouldn't let him put Frank Miller as a co-director on Sin City. So, and that's a big thing, So, he's all about the vision. I really do hope it does do well. It's probably gonna not do well, but it's got the talent. It's got a good visionary in terms of the director. It's got a great writer in James Cameron. The man knows how to write a good movie.
You know what this movie kind of reminds me of? Movie came out a few years ago, Jupiter Ascending.
That is
a lot of the same points you're saying right now could go to that movie.
At what
Great
point?
cast: Channing Tatum, Mila Kunis, Eddie Redmayne.
And
visionary directors, the Wachowskis.
And out of those three actors, the only ones who've actually gotten awards is Eddie Redmayne, and that was after that movie was made.
Channing Tatum, I believe, was nominated
for
the wrestling one. Can't think of it right now. The one with Steve Carell.
Oh, Foxcatcher?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I think he was.
I think you're crazy.
He got a lot of good. Well, he at least got a lot of good critical recognition from that.
Yeah.
But this movie reminds me a lot of that because I want to say that movie came out in February too.
Yeah,
Jupiter Ascending
but Jupiter Ascending though is that the Wachowskis, they've gotten just weird, and that has nothing to do with their personal life.
So has Robert Rodriguez. Have you not watched Shark Boy and Lava Girl and Spy Kids?
Those were a long time ago.
Yeah, but that's what you have to go off of.
No, I'm going off
They're
of
bad.
new shit.
What's his new shit that he's done?
Well, for one, you can easily take Planet Terror before you take, Spy Kids.
But this is going to lean more to the Spy Kids.
No.
This is PG-13, I'm sure.
This is going to be more, I would honestly say, in terms of stylistic, is going to be more of a Sin City. Not necessarily in the gritty, the rated R kind of feel, but in terms of the style, his use of CGI between practical and CGI is not the common method.
No, not at all. Are you seeing that as a positive?
Yes.
Which I like.
Yes.
I don't. I don't like his use of CGI. I think it's terrible and goofy and takes me out of it every time.
See, here's the problem though.
I'm leaning more towards kids' movies than this. Okay.
So, for example, if you look at movies like Desperado, if you look at movies like Once Upon a Time in Mexico, there is actually a lot heavy on post and CG in the terms of CGI. he doesn't use a lot of practical like squids for his pop shots for like when someone's getting shot. It's all done in post. If something's on fire or something like that, most of it's done in post. He actually has a very good, solid, special effects team that he does in house. He doesn't. He outsources some of it, whatever, but a lot of it is his own Troublemaker Studios. And I think you were getting hung up on Spy Kids.
I am, because this movie feels a lot like that to me, because it's going to lean more towards a PG-13 audience than an R-rated Desperado or Sin City. Can you answer me one question on this? So the main character, the girl, her name's Attila.
Mm-hmm.
Do people know that she's like a cyborg, not human?
Considering the fact that when she puts her hands out, that they are like robot-looking hands.
Yeah, but when like people just look at her, do they think she's a human?
No, because her eyes are huge.
Yeah, okay. That was one thing that was concerning me. I'm like, are we supposed to believe that this weird-looking CGI character is supposed to look human? But, I don't know. I think that CGI looks really bad on her. Maybe it's supposed to not look perfect?
She's supposed to look like that, though. But
she's supposed to look human-like, right?
No. She's like
somewhat humanoid.
And
right?
she's like a cyborg of some sort.
I don't know.
She's literally found in a. If you would have watched the last trailer,
I did watch it.
Where Christoph Waltz's character finds her in the trash heap from the floating city thing that is above them. So,
I don't know. I'm not into it. It's not for me.
Well, of course not. There's not enough horror elements to it.
There is with that CGI. I like to be a snarky asshole sometimes. And this movie just unfortunately has fallen into that pit for me. So if you're into it, I'm great, because I want to be, and I want anime movies to work. A lot of times we haven't gotten that, and Ghost in the Shell.
That one had so much crap going into it before.
Yeah,
I think that one was destined to fail just because everybody was bitching about Scarlett Johansson.
Yep.
About the whole whitewashing thing.
That and Death Note, terrible. So,
you mean that you're not looking forward to Death Note season 2? Or
they're making another one?
What, for Netflix?
I'm talking about like the live action movie.
Yeah, for Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a sequel coming.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The first one's terrible.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's great.
Yeah.
Because it's Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, it's Willem Dafoe.
And
they probably didn't have to use a lot of CGI. They just had to have him smile.
Yeah. Like, make him like half Venom, half Willem Dafoe, and that's pretty much what he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was the best part. That's a shitty movie. Jeez. They're making another one?
Yeah, they're making another one.
Why?
Because they want to piss people like you off.
I guess.
It's Netflix, and they're like, you're still going to pay me, bitch.
I actually don't pay them. My parents pay for my Netflix. Please don't fire or cancel our Netflix subscription, please. Netflix.
I pay for mine, so don't you throw
me
underneath the bus here.
Alright, so was that the last trailer we had?
That was the last trailer, yeah.
Wow, that was a lot of trailers this week. So out of those, was it 5?
Yeah.
Yep. Which one do you want to see the most?
Not Leprechaun Returns.
Okay, obviously.
That was.
I was gonna pick that one for you. Like, I really thought you were into it.
Yeah. Fuck no. The good thing about all these, they come out at different times, so I don't have to choose.
Which one are you most looking forward to, though?
I don't have an answer to that. That is a desk.
That is a desk. I just smacked my knee on it.
You should not kick it. It's solid wood.
It is solid wood. I think I broke my kneecap. Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4 for you?
Yeah.
You're just going for that family nostalgia. You want to go back to the theater to cry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hanks gonna make me cry again. I know it.
Oh, come on. It's not Tom Hanks that makes you cry. It's that Tim Allen, because, he's not making his money. Oh, no, I take that back.
He still got his TV show.
Yeah, now that he got picked back up.
Yeah, and replaced Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, but Brooklyn Nine-Nine Brooklyn Nine-Nine got picked back up, too.
9-9. Did you ever watch that show?
No, but I just saw a preview for it here the other day, and the preview just made me go, God, I really need to actually just start watching that.
One of the best comedies on TV right now. It's Always Sunny is number 1.
And who would have thought Andy Samberg would have a top-rated comedy
But he's back on his home station, back on NBC. So
That's where he belongs.
that's where it should stay. That's where The Office was. That's where Parks and Rec was. 9-9 kind of falls in that same vein. So
No, we'll never see an Office reboot. Just
I'm fine with that.
you
Yeah.
put that to bed.
That ending is perfect.
Don't know. Never watched it.
Oh.
See, there's a problem there. Steve Carell.
You don't like Steve Carell, do you?
Occasionally.
You like Rainn Wilson.
I do like Rainn Wilson.
He's awesome in The Office.
Well,
He's doing an awesome thing too for. We should bring this up for the California fires that are going on right now. He's bringing people on tour to where they film The Office, the actual office.
Oh, nice.
So people pay that, and he said at least 50% of the proceeds of whatever he gets is going to that.
Well, that's good.
To help with fire relief. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say though is for you're referencing to Foxcatcher for Channing Tatum. Try to watch that movie. Now, I will honestly say, in terms of Steve Carell, fantastic job. I love the fact he was outside of his box. Channing Tatum, Mark Ruffalo, all us. Mark Ruffalo is probably the one who's closest to being inside, his comfort zone because that was probably more independent.
Yep.
Being a Hulk in the Avengers, that's outside of his box. But I could not finish it. It was just too fucking dry. It's just
interesting.
It's.
I want to watch it. I gotta try to find it somewhere. So, Steve Carell, he's doing a lot of that drama stuff.
No, which I like.
I'm looking forward to his new one that's coming out. I can't think of the name. It's where he has the
little
miniatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that looks great. That looks fantastic. It's just I don't know. It just there wasn't enough draw. I get that it's based off of a true story and some creative license, blah blah blah, whatever. But we stopped it. We had to go do something. We never came back. We just no.
His nose didn't draw you in.
No, that was a bad nose. That was such a bad nose.
But I love that Steve Carell can do both.
Yes.
Comedy and the deep drama stuff.
Yes.
And he's awesome at both. I'll give him that.
He can be awesome at both.
Where is he bad? Besides Evan Almighty.
Evan Almighty, let's see here. People are going to shun me for this when I say 40-Year-Old Virgin. Shun. I don't know. That was one of those movies that just... It's the kind of stupid comedy that came out of the SNL type of, world of just... No. And it just...
You don't like raunch comedies, do you?
It depends. For instance, Waiting. You want to talk about a restaurant-style raunch comedy? Great movie. But maybe that's because Ryan Reynolds is amazing and Anna Faris is amazing. Justin Long,
What's the
excuse me.
The Hispanic actor. What's his name? He's awesome.
Oh, Louis Guzman.
Yeah, Louis Guzman.
Yes. I mean, you've got...
He's in Community, too.
You've got... Rob Corddry is in that movie. No, it's not. Oh, God damn it. What is it? Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of great people in that movie.
But there's some things that, Crazy Stupid Love. Maybe it's because it was a rom-com kind of thing, along with a good solid cast. Julianne Moore, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, Kevin Bacon.
The bacon.
Everything leads back to the bacon.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Hell yeah. Yes.
We dig the Kevin Bacon here on the back lot, 605.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Tremors.
Oh, Tremors is great.
I'm sad that the Tremors TV show that he was trying to do never got picked up.
And apparently that they pretty much shot a lot of.
Just the one episode. The pilot.
Then release it.
I know, right?
At least, yeah, I don't know, put it on something where you can stream it or pay, Netflix, pick it up.
And this
Netflix got the last 2 Tremors movies.
And this is the part. This is the part I don't get though too. I had heard that he wasn't going to do anything Tremors unless everybody was on board. But then when he did this pilot, he was the only one that was on board. And that's saying something concerning the fact that Michael Goss or whatever the fuck his name is, the Family Ties guy, has been making these fucking movies.
He's in all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now with Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah. But you couldn't get him to do the TV show with Kevin Bacon, do one of the originals? Fucking bring back Reba McEntire.
Yeah. Bring back Reba. Yeah, Tremors, like, I wish that show would have got off the ground. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I would have been all for that.
Yeah, so, where were we? I think we got a little deviated right there.
A deviation? No, that never happens.
That doesn't happen on our show.
I know that we wanted to talk about the late, great Stan Lee.
Absolutely.
You know, the unfortunate that in this last week here, I was home for lunch and I see a thing on TMZ. It says Stan Lee's passed away. And anything TMZ related, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fact check that shit. The unfortunate thing with TMZ is it seems that they seem to be the ones to get it right first when it comes to celebrity deaths. They seem to be doing that since Michael Jackson. But I was on a slight little bit of this can't be true because they literally picked it up so fast nobody else had it yet. I Google searched it, nothing. Barely 15 minutes later, all of a sudden, the fucking shit's all over the place. I'm like, oh shit, text the wife. I just get the great big infamous Darth Vader no back kind of thing, you know.
You're the one that actually broke it to me, so I was at work and you just text me that Stan Lee is gone.
Stan Lee is gone.
And I'm like, what do you mean Stan Lee is gone? Like, so I looked it up and yeah, sure enough, and yeah, he's one of those people where when you think of, you know, celebrities or even people that you know that you obviously know they're going to pass away at some point in time. He's one of those people that you never thought that was going to happen.
No.
You thought he was going to live forever.
You're like, he's 95. He's going to live to be like 150.
Yeah, he's got to be in the next 30 Avengers movies. Come on.
He can't die.
No, but he was one of the best, obviously, known for his work at Marvel, creating pretty much everyone's favorite characters that have ever appeared in Marvel Comics.
Yeah, you pretty much...
Spider-Man, the X-Men, Iron Man, Hulk.
Well, pretty much everybody.
Fantastic Four. Like, it goes on and on and on.
Everybody in the MCU, basically, is a Stan Lee character, pretty much.
And one of the things he's most known for? Appearing in those Marvel movies. So, I think we want to do our top 5 favorite Stan Lee cameos.
Well, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
So what is your top 5?
Well, do you want to, like, jump back and forth? Like, I'll do my 5, you do your 5, I'll do my 4, to do your 4? Or you still got to build yours?
No, you just do your 5.
Okay.
Just trust me.
So, my number 5 is not really from a movie.
Okay.
It is from the Deadpool 2 teaser.
Oh, yes.
Yep, where he sees Wade Wilson go into the phone booth, do his Superman thing, and he says, "Hey, nice suit. Zip it, Stan Lee."
Yep.
I love it.
I mean, even for not being a true form cameo, that was a great cameo.
That's got to count as his cameo in Logan, right?
In Logan.
Yeah, because that's instead of having an after credit scene for Logan, it was the Deadpool 2 teaser. And that's the only place it ever played.
I suppose. Well, it played twice because there's 2 versions of that teaser.
There's the one online and then...
Yes, because there's a long version too.
Yep. That is my number 5. So, just a fun one. It's not from a movie, but it sums it up perfectly, and I love that Deadpool calls it out that it's Stan Lee. So, my number 4 is from Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Where he's playing the security guard when Cap goes to get his original World War II suit, and he walks by.
And he's going to get fired.
Yep, he's like, "I'm so fired."
Yep.
I love that. One of the funniest Stan Lee cameos, I think, right there. He's in every MCU movie and most of the TV series, so he's got a lot of things to choose from, and that's one of my favorite MCU ones from him. My third one is from Avengers: Age of Ultron, where he is at the party with the Avengers, where they're partying with some of the veterans, and Stan Lee tells Thor to give him his Asgardian drink.
He
gets him hammered.
He gets him drunk.
No pun intended with hammered.
Pun? Oh, come on. That's totally perfect pun intended.
And he gets to say his catchphrase, Excelsior.
Yes.
Well, he's drunk, so... Yeah, it's fun to see. I wish they would make a whole movie about that. Where it's the Avengers hanging out and just talking and partying with normal people. Like, wouldn't that just be a fun movie? Almost like a sitcom kind of thing where Stan Lee's there hanging out with them.
You'd almost have to make like
a Marvel one-shot.
I really wish they would have kept on doing those.
Whatever happened with those?
They only did 4 or 5 of them.
They did them for Phase 1, and then they did them...
Not all of Phase 1. There's only like 5 of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Thor had one.
Yeah.
Captain America, Avengers, Iron Man 3, and then Thor: The Dark World. Is that it?
That's about it. Yeah.
So yeah, those 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're good stuff.
Yeah.
I thought the Avengers one for the longest time was like their backdoor pilot for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Like I expected those 2 characters from that one shot to show up on the TV show. They never do.
No, not at all.
But they have it's fun stuff.
I was hoping that the one shots were going to be kind of like the bonus shorts that we get with like a Pixar movie. You know, just these little tidbits to help, you know, develop the world that is the MCU, and you know they just, I don't know if it was a production thing or if it's not like fucking Marvel needs the money.
No, but I don't know. Would you count like the Thor one where he has like his roommate and explains where he was during?
Oh, those are great.
During Civil War. That's kind of a one shot thing.
No, there's 2 of them. There's 2 parts to that. But no, I would actually say the one where it is Thor and Bruce Banner sitting at the table when Banner gets the phone call from Iron Man, and Thor is like, tell him I said hi. I want to talk to him. And oh nope, sorry, he's gone.
Poor Thor.
Poor Thor gets the short staff.
But while we're on the one shots, the Mandarin one is really good.
I sometimes think they did the one shot for the Mandarin
because
of all the fucking shit they got.
They made that one for me.
They made that one for you?
Yep.
They called you and said, hey, we're going to do this for you.
I'm like, thank God, because you fucked up the Mandarin.
Right.
I don't walk out of movies. I almost walked out of that one.
So what you're saying is that you want to get the Chinese version of Iron Man 3.
I want, the 10 Rings Mandarin. I want that.
You want to get the one where they don't tell him tell the audience that he's Trevor.
Yeah, I don't want that. So, and what's his name? Sam Rockwell is great. It has a fun little cameo in that one too, as Justin Hammer.
He's in the second one.
No, he's in that one shot with the Mandarin.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
Where he's in the prison and he has a prison bitch.
Okay, so what's your...
Number 2?
Yeah.
Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Okay.
Where he's finally revealed, pretty much, that he is a Watcher. It makes perfect sense.
He's never been revealed as the Watcher. You're just making shit up.
He's a Watcher.
That is a fan theory.
And that is, in my head, that is correct.
Well, the Watcher has since passed away, so he cannot watch anymore.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Okay.
But yeah, I love that he's just sitting there with the rest of the Watchers telling him about when he was in Civil War and he calls Tony Stark Tony Stank as the FedEx driver.
Yes.
Yep. So, and my number 1 does not come from an MCU movie.
Okay.
It is from Spider-Man 3. And I will explain why. It is when Spider-Man sees that he will be getting the key to the city, where Peter Parker sees that, and Stan walks up to him and he says, I guess it is true. One man can make a difference. Enough said.
Very much so.
And the reason I put that at my number 1, Spider-Man 3 is not the greatest movie. Everyone knows that. It has its problems. But when I think of Stan Lee and his creation, the number 1 thing that comes to mind is Spider-Man. And to see him interact with Spider-Man, that's it. Right there. And him giving that line, one man can make a difference, perfectly sums up what Spider-Man is. So that is my number 1.
That's your number 1 guy.
That is. Spider-Man is probably my favorite superhero of all time.
You're just going to have to remember in the back of your head that there's some place in that little vault of yours that says, there is a list that I have, and Spider-Man 3 is at the top of that list.
Unfortunately. And it's not a worst list.
No.
No, it is the number 1. I'm fine with it, and I'm totally fine with that.
And you're going to have to live with that for the rest of your life.
Hey.
There are so many
It's with Stan.
There's so many things that you could have done that would have easily not put that at the top of your list.
Well, didn't I do a good explaining of why it's at number 1? Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's my guy.
I suppose.
So, and I always feel like Spider-Man was always Stan's favorite.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so to see that does it for me. Mm-hmm. So, what do you got for your top 5 favorite Stan Lee cameos of all time? I'm hoping you have some different ones so we can talk about them.
Well, that's where I knew that this was going to be a problem. Because earlier today, I actually came across a couple YouTube videos, which one of them I want to link back to, that is pretty much all the cameos all the way through current, right? And you picked up on a lot of the exact same things that I would have. He's gonna get fired. He's shit ass drunk in Age of Ultron. You know, the Tony Stank. I mean, that would have been almost like verbatim, with the exception of, I'm sorry, Spider-Man 3 is not on the top of my list.
I understand. I do. Yeah. Which I'm glad it's different. Yeah. But I want to hear yours for sure.
Well, what I was gonna say is, I personally, after having watched that clip of all the cameos,
I think I watched that one too.
I don't think I could per se select one specifically, or even create a top 5, if you will. With the exception of the number one cameo for me, for Stan Lee, isn't even a MCU movie. It's not a fucking Spider-Man movie. It is Stan Lee playing himself in fucking Mallrats.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Wait a minute. You're Stan Lee.
Yes. That to me, and that was early on. That was before, obviously,
Kevin Smith did it before it was cool.
Exactly. I mean, you're looking at, bringing in someone. Oh, and he's so young. Oh, granted, it's 94. It was 24 years ago.
Were you still in his 70s?
Were you alive?
Well, what year did Mallrats come out?
94.
Yeah, that's when I was born.
No, 95.
So I would have been like 1.
Yeah. So you're just a little baby.
I was just a youngin'.
But no, that's exactly the only the only Marvel movie at that date pretty much was Howard the Duck.
And all the Incredible Hulk TV movies.
That's true.
That he does cameo in.
He does cameo in the Incredible Hulk TV movie. That is correct. Yep. He plays a juror. But no, it's got to be Mallrats. It's the fact that you're talking Kevin Smith. The only thing he had prior to Mallrats was Clerks, the $28,000 independent movie he made on his credit cards. And the next movie in, you get Michael Rooker, you get Stan Lee. I mean, that's amazing. No, hands down, Mallrats.
I'm all for it. I'm glad you brought it up, because one of the reasons I didn't put that on my list, actually, because I knew you'd bring it up. I'm like, well, we're going to talk about it already, so we might as well bring up something else. So, Any other ones you want to talk about, or
no? Because
those your number one.
Well, that definitely would be number one. I would say for honorable mentions though is him being the guy that cuts Thor's hair in Ragnarok.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yes. But it's just there's a little bit. I mean, the reason why to me they're kind of hard to compare is early on he was more of a pan and scan, like, oh hey, that's Stan Lee.
Yep.
And then later, they actually basically built him into certain characters, or or even
gave him funny lines,
gave him lines, something like that. Other honorable mention though would be the librarian in
Amazing
Spider-Man. Yeah. He's not doing anything. He's just doing his thing, and just all the shit's going on behind him.
That was almost my Spider-Man one for this list.
I would have accepted that before Spider-Man 3.
Oh, Spider-Man 3 is better than Amazing Spider-Man.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Spider-Man 3 was bad. A train wreck, including the dance-off, or whatever the hell that thing was. Emo
Spider-Man.
Emo Tobey Maguire.
Okay, that was a bad choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one I do want to bring up quick, actually, I guess both of them in the Fantastic Four movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought they were fun.
Oh, yeah.
Ray plays the mail carrier in one, and then in Rise of the Silver Surfer, he's trying to get into the wedding, and he's Stan Lee.
Yeah, he's Stan Lee.
They're like, yep, sure.
And I did like a couple of those where, like, he is, in, like, the Iron Man movies, he's Hugh Hefner in one, and he's Larry King in the other.
Yep. I haven't watched this movie yet. It's Teen Titans Go to the Movies, but I like Stan Lee's cameo in it. I watched it.
Oh, yes.
It's fun.
I had a buddy of mine that told me about it. He's like, yeah, there's a Stan Lee cameo in Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I'm like,
it's a DC movie.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He goes, there's a legit cameo. I'm like, okay, yeah. He sends me a link. He's like, you need to watch this. That is brilliant. And I love the fact that since that he has now since passed away, that was like the perfect time for DC to do their due diligence into to honoring him. You know, they're the
and what he's done for comics overall.
Yes,
I like
it. He's obviously a rival per se in the industry, but they know an icon when they see, and they pay the homage, and they give the due justice.
Yeah, he transcends that quote unquote DC Marvel rivalry that is non-existent.
No, but that cameo,
is great.
Okay, I'm sorry. I would give Teen Titans Go to the Movies a better rating than your Spider-Man 3.
You don't like this Spider-Man cameo, do you? I'm not giving Spider-Man 3 the spot. It is the cameo over anything else in that movie.
Maybe I'm pulling a Spy Kids reference to Robert Rodriguez kind of feel to this. Yeah, I can't get over the movie, so that's my problem.
Okay, I get it. But yeah, Stan Lee, forever a legend. We hope we can see some more Stan Lee cameos in the future. I think they have a lot of stuff.
We got at least 2 coming.
Yep, and from what I saw on some of these lists, is he's in like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones just as a cop on the picture of a cop.
Wall.
Yeah. However, so I'm sure they did a lot of pictures with him where they can do that, which I'm fine with.
Well, then the pictures, you just print a new one.
Just like Deadpool 2, where he's just a mural.
But at least he did do that promo for the Defenders.
Yeah, I like that.
So at least he's got that, too. Yep. So he was able to work that in a little bit.
And he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so that was nice. But, yeah, Stan Lee, he's the man.
He is the man. Stan the man Lee.
Stan the man. There can only ever be one. So rest in peace, Stan, and he will be missed.
He will definitely be missed. And all I can say at this point now, there's 2 people in Hollywood that would be the type of don't do it or we riot. Stan Lee. The other one's Betty White.
Absolutely.
Don't fucking take Betty White from me.
Don't take Betty White from us.
No, we need Betty White. Betty White needs to make it to at least 100. If Kirk Douglas can make it to 100, Betty White can make it to 100.
She's got to be getting close.
She's like a year older than Stan Lee was.
Oh yeah, she got 4 years to go. She can make it.
She's getting there.
She can make it. So yeah, rest in peace, Stan Lee. You will be missed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next thing we should jump to is what's coming soon to theaters. So this is a pretty big weekend we got coming up.
And this is all this weekend?
This is all this weekend.
Oh, fuck.
That's a lot of stuff.
That is a lot of stuff.
So where do you want to start off with? You want to start off with the one neither of us will probably see?
What, Robin Hood?
Robin Hood. Yep. Because I figured between the other two, you'll probably see Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Oh, that looks amazing.
I'm definitely going to go see Creed 2. So let's just start with Robin Hood.
Yeah.
The unfortunate redheaded stepchild to these 2 movies.
And I'm saddened by that because I'm a fan of those people. Taron Egerton, Jamie Foxx,
Ben Mendelsohn.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot Ben Mendelsohn was in it, too.
As a villain, as always, but he does it great.
He does a great villain.
Which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just have to own the fact that, you not necessarily that you get typecasted, but play the roles that you know you're good at.
Yeah.
And Ben Mendelsohn definitely knows that I'm a good villain, you know what? Nobody's going to go to a movie to see me be the happy guy.
I kind of want to see him as the happy guy sometime, though. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, but that's also like, kind of going back to The Walking Dead. I'm so used to Andrew Lincoln playing Rick Grimes. It's weird seeing him in, like, Love Actually. It just is weird.
It just doesn't work.
No.
Yep. Anyway, Robin Hood, as you said, Taron Egerton, Jamie Foxx. Kind of a new spin on the Robin Hood tale. I don't know.
And see, that's probably where I have most of the problem is Robin Hood's been done. And yeah, it's gonna happen. And there'll be more Robin Hood movies to come in the future.
Yep. It's like Tarzan.
And
something you can keep redoing.
And it's probably one of those things that I think Taron Egerton's finally, granted Eddie the Eagle and the Kingsman and stuff like that, he's getting the recognition he deserves and getting the movies that he needs to be making. And this gives him a little bit of the action kind of thing more or less what he's already been doing. And be like, hey, dude, we're going to make a Robin Hood movie. We want you to be Robin Hood. Who would turn that down?
Yeah.
So I think that's probably a lot of what's going on with it here. But, I haven't heard anything about, like, what's the story,
It's Robin Hood. He steals from the rich and gives to the poor.
And I did see a thing where somebody was talking about, like, the people that get into the trailers and they zoom in and they look at the little nitty-gritties and they're like, that's a hem seam on his... There was no sewing machines back in the day.
Oh my God, it's a movie.
Who gives a flying fuck?
Exactly. Like, whatever. This movie kind of seems middle of the road to me. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll be the kind of one where I'll eventually see it, but I think it's probably one of those ones that I'll probably wait either to maybe like a cheap seat or maybe even just wait for
streaming,
home video.
Yeah. Yep. So, let's jump to Creed 2.
Creed 2?
Yes.
I need to see Creed 1. My goal is to get that.
You gotta watch Rocky 4 first and then Creed.
At that point, I need to watch Rocky, rewatch Rocky 1, 2, get 3 watch, get 4 watch, then watch Creed. But hey, now I've got YouTube, so I can get caught up.
Exactly, or I have them all. I love the Rocky movies. Rocky he might be my favorite film character of all time. But I love all the movies except 5. 5 kind of stinks. But yeah, you have to watch it because 4 pretty much leads into Creed. Mm-hmm. What happens in 4? Do you know what happens?
No.
Okay. Okay, then I won't spoil it, I guess. But I like. Well, it's not really a spoiler, but anyway.
Hey, how long has it been since Rocky 4?
The USSR is now gone. It's just Russia. So we stopped the Cold War. So it's been a while.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it'd be safe to say is that if you ruin it, it's my fault.
It is. Apollo dies. Ivan kills him in the ring.
No shit.
Okay. So the Creed is about his son and Rocky training him, and he's and now in Creed 2 he's gonna fight Drago's kid.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that's where you have to go with the sequel. I love it. Rocky 4 is probably the easiest movie you could ever watch. It's an hour and a half. It is 2 fights and 3 training montages, and that's the movie, which I love. That's why I love it, because it's the most streamlined movie you could ever watch. But I love that Creed goes back to the roots of Rocky. It's a straight up drama. It's more about the characters and what they're going through than the fights. The fights in the first movie are great. Michael B. Jordan is fantastic as Adonis Creed, and Ryan Coogler did the first one. I believe he's just an executive producer here on the second one.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't direct it.
Are you sure?
Yep. That's a different guy.
That's a different guy?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think he was busy with this Black Panther movie.
Yeah. What? That little film?
That little indie film.
That little indie film.
But in the first movie, they have a tracking shot with one of Adonis's fights, and it's great. Great camera work. And what they do with the Rocky character, I love, and I can't wait to see what they do when they bring back Ivan Drago. I must break you.
I decided to quick look to see who it is that did Creed 2. And
I can't remember what his name is.
His name is, where I just lost it, Stephen Caple Jr.
Okay.
And
I don't think he's done a lot of stuff.
He did some TV show called Rapture. He did a couple of episodes of Grownish, a couple of short films, and basically 2011. So he's only been around for like 7 years. So my guess,
Coogler probably knows him.
Coogler probably had his hands in a lot of this, which I'm okay with. This is one of those instances where it's like the producers need to be hands-on, and especially if you're going to pass the baton, because, when Coogler went and did Creed, people are like, you're trying to, do Rocky without doing Rocky, while redoing Rocky, like almost like a reboot kind of thing. But, we're going to have Rocky in it, and, Creed could have easily been something that got screwed up. It easily could have been bad. Easily could have been really bad. And Coogler he's an amazing director, and I think he's doing what needs to be done. And that's why I think this Creed 2 looks just as good.
Yep, and Stallone helped write this one, which he was a writer on pretty much all the Rocky movies. Or was the writer on all of them, directed 2 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm glad to see he's back on the story. Coogler also helped with it, it looks like, a lot. So I'm definitely looking forward to this movie. I've heard great reviews on it so far. And yeah, it's a Rocky movie. I'm going to go watch it, no doubt. So, and yeah, I like I said before, I want to see where they go with the Drago family. Maybe make him a little bit more than just spewing shitty one-liners from Rocky 4.
Who knows? Maybe Creed will get his redemption, and Drago will be the one sitting up there laying on the floor.
I don't want him to kill him. That would be terrible. Like, all of a sudden Creed just turns full heel and kills Drago. And
not intentionally.
Well, no, but how bad would he feel? Drago didn't care. He's like, if he dies, he dies.
See, this is a prequel to Black Panther. This is what Killmonger becomes.
Oh, this is how Killmonger becomes what he is?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that Apollo Creed once lived in Wakanda?
Everything's possible.
Anything's possible. Yeah. My bad
impressions.
Yes, that t-shirt coming soon. Bad impressions.
You're going to be making a lot of t-shirts.
I'm going to be making a lot of t-shirts. Or we should just do a podcast called Bad Impressions. I think that'd be fun. Anyway, yeah, I'm in. And what else we got? Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Wreck-It Ralph 2. Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Breaks the Internet. I have yet to see the first one.
I am sorry.
Shame on me.
I will reverse it. Would you like to borrow it?
I actually would, because I want to see Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Because when you first heard the premise of Wreck-It Ralph, and then you hear that it's John C. Reilly voicing Ralph, perfect choice. You don't really get to Sarah Silverman because she has a little bit of an inflection. She doesn't have just her normal voice. Wreck-It Ralph, the first one, was a great animated movie. That was a Disney movie without being a Pixar movie. Sometimes with the Disney movies, you do occasionally get that hit or miss. They've been doing better, but you get some of those where you're like, some people like Meet the Robinsons, but most people like, who cares?
Yeah. Chicken Little.
Chicken Little. Wreck-It Ralph, great. So, the very first trailer I saw for Ralph Breaks the Internet, I was absolutely sold. And it was the little teaser where he's playing with the bunny rabbit game thing, and he gives the pancakes to the bunny rabbit. When said bunny rabbit explodes and makes the little kid in the car scream, I was like, sold, I'm in. When do I go? Just tell me when the release date is. I'll be there.
Yeah. I like the little teaser that they had with the Sarah Silverman character with all the Disney princesses.
Yes.
I like that they're incorporating more characters and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Especially when they start going off about the different things of, the damsel in distress, yep. And did this happen, this happen. Are you guys okay? Do you need help?
But I want to see more characters like that, because I believe in the first Wreck-It Ralph, isn't Bowser in?
Yep.
Yeah, as part of the villain.
Bowser, and Bison is in there, Zangief is in there, a couple of the ghosts from Pac-Man are in there. There's just a generic zombie in there, because you're talking about the villain, the meeting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope this kind of, I don't know, because it seems a lot of it is obviously based on, cause Ralph is a video game character in these movies, and technically this could be called a video game movie,
mm-hmm.
And the best one easily.
Well,
you don't have much competition in those video game movies, but
no.
Hopefully it leads to a CGI Mario movie or something like that.
There is
something in the works.
Yeah, you
keep talking.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give my idea for it.
Okay.
You have this Bowser. I keep the animation like this, like it is in Wreck-It Ralph. And Mario is literally the simplest story. You have Bowser take Princess Peach. And you have Mario teaming up with Luigi to go get her. Halfway through the movie, you have a go-kart scene where Mario and Luigi get in a go-kart and they have to chase down Bowser. and they have to use all like the Mario Kart weapons and stuff, like the banana peels and the turtle eggs and stuff like that. So I think that would be great to include in a movie.
I don't know.
Nothing in the works yet, or
where is it here?
because the terrible '90s Super Mario Brothers movie should not be the legacy of Mario on film.
God, no.
No. So,
And
Mario can work. He can work as a film character.
And the parts about the... Okay. So, for me, Super Mario Brothers is one of those bad, campy movies that I enjoy to watch because it's a bad, campy movie.
Yep.
You know, the fact that you have 3 great actors like John Leguizamo, which I suppose some people, depend on who you ask, that might be a loaded statement. Bob Hoskins, and Dennis Hopper. Dennis Hopper playing Bowser.
What?
I want to know how much they paid that man because, oh my god. And at least knowing that Bob Hoskins went on record saying this is the most worst movie I've ever made and I'm sorry. But outside of that, I enjoy watching Super Mario Bros. Because it's bad and campy.
Yeah, it's not a Mario movie at all. One of the weirdest things Hollywood has ever done, along with the Masters of the Universe movie. Just some of those terrible movies.
Mm-hmm.
Also starring Dolph Lundgren, who will be in Creed 2. Knowledge?
What?
He was He-Man in the Masters of the Universe movie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've been talking about a Masters of the Universe movie for like 4 years. Because at one point, the guy that directed the first G.I. Joe was supposed to do He-Man.
And McGee was attached.
So was John Woo at one point.
Yeah. I actually know or follow, if you follow the Collider stuff, a couple of the guys that work there actually wrote a treatment for He-Man that was part of one of those He-Man in production things a while ago. That obviously never got made because apparently it's too hard to make a He-Man movie.
Well,
where it's literally just a fantasy movie. Just do it good.
We know how that went the last time.
Yeah, but they brought him to Earth. Don't bring He-Man to Earth.
True.
Yeah.
So, animated Super Mario Brothers movie tentatively planned for 2022. This is Engadget as of the 6th of November. So,
hopefully they're working on it then. I don't know. I want to see it. Make it happen.
Update. This post has been updated to note Nintendo's earlier confirmation that the project is in development.
It's been in development since Super Mario Brothers movie, so...
Yeah, so...
Until we see something from it, it's one of those things.
Until we see the words filming, or... Because even at this
Give us an actual release date.
Oh, no, because that shit can move.
Yeah.
It can release dates.
But at least they're in production then.
Yeah, but even with a release date until, that's like when someone asked me about Bill and Ted 3. Like, bitch, until I see the word filming? Nope, that is just going to be tentative.
Yeah.
Because we've only been talking about that one for 20 years now.
Make it happen, Hollywood. These are the sequels we want.
I want Bill and Ted 3. I want to see Alex Winter. I want to see Keanu Reeves back together again.
Yeah. Let him finish John Wick 3. Let it make its buttloads of money that I'm hoping it does.
Oh, it will.
And then bring back Bill and Ted. So.
I want to see Ted looking like John Wick.
What do you think Ted would be doing right now in this modern age?
Well, if they haven't, because it's the premise has been about that they haven't quite gotten to where they needed to be to save the world, that they've middle-aged and they haven't succeeded. He would be the Dante and Randall in Clerks. He would be the guy behind the counter saying, "I don't want to be here today."
Yeah. Do you think? Well, what year did they jump to in Bill and Ted? How far off in the future? Where like Bill and Ted are the?
I don't think it's ever given a specific year other than it's like a dystopian, like a futuristic world where peace and humanity and everything exists.
What if you jump to that, like where they're a successful band, the Wild Stallions?
Because by then they'll be dead.
What do you mean? No, like that's the premise for Bill and Ted 3, where Wild Stallions are one of the biggest bands in the world.
Oh no, they've already said that the premise is going to be where they need to start they need to go traveling through time again to fix because they haven't got to where they needed to be.
Oh, fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got you. I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Make it happen.
It's Bill and Ted. I'm in. Period.
Yeah. Excellent.
My wife will just let me stay home.
Well, it's like Wayne's World 3. For me, it needs to happen.
Okay.
Bill and Ted, I compare a lot to Wayne's World. They seem very similar to each other. Kind of these two loser dudes that they seem a lot alike to me, and I want to see it happen. Apparently, only Austin Powers 4 is the one Mike Myers really cares about. So.
Hey, I'm all for Austin Powers.
Oh, 4. I am too.
I need more Dr. Evil.
Absolutely, especially with his stuff with Jimmy Fallon that he's been on. Great. Yes. So, but I want my Wayne's World 3 yet, where they're freaking doing this right now, podcasting.
Yeah. You'd have to get Dana Carvey back, and
I don't think he's doing very much.
Wait, you think he's bored? You think he might need a paycheck?
Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but I think him and Mike Myers have, settled their differences that they've had. Because they did a lot of promotion for the 25th anniversary of Wayne's World. And so, yeah, make it happen, guys. I want more Wayne and Garth on the movie screen. Bring back Rob Lowe, too.
Oh, definitely bring back Rob Lowe. Especially now. Rob Lowe was big then. He's bigger now.
Absolutely.
He's like
a fine wine.
Yeah, exactly. He's only gotten better over time.
He's like him and John Stamos. Those two guys. They just can't age.
Yeah. They're going to get to the point where they're going to go Benjamin Button on us and start aging backwards.
I'm pretty sure John Stamos has.
Probably.
Yeah. So, that's what we got coming out. Creed 2, Robin Hood, and Ralph Breaks the Internet. So, a fun movie, or a fun weekend for movies. So, definitely get out and check out any of those three, I think. So, yeah, I'll be going to Creed 2.
It's going to be a good weekend for the holiday.
It is. Yeah. So,
definitely.
What else we got? We got stuff going on here in Sioux Falls. One movie that we have talked about numerous times on this podcast, Clerks.
Yes.
Full Circle Book Co-op here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, in downtown, is doing a midnight screening of Clerks.
Yes, that was going to be on Friday the 23rd.
Yep, on Black Friday, starting at midnight, and I love that.
That's going to be great.
Yeah, I love that they're doing pretty much like what you would think of what these people who work on Black Friday actually feel like.
Mm-hmm.
The characters in Clerks. So, perfect movie to have on that night.
Oh, it depends on the guy that's working, I've worked retail. I actually enjoy Black Friday. Black Friday is fun. If you acknowledge the fact that it's going to be a stressful day, people want their shit, they want to get their good prices. After that, Black Friday is fun. And that'll just, to end your Black Friday after a long, potential stressful day, whether it be shopping, working, dealing with family, to go watch Clerks.
Well, technically it's on Thursday night. Starts at Friday at 12 a.m. So after you've had your Thanksgiving fix.
Shit, I'm going to be half passed out with all the the turkey fixings.
Yeah, so after you do, well, technically Black Friday is just on Thursday night now anyway. So after you're done with that, go check out Clerks on. Well, I don't know. We haven't seen a movie there yet, so maybe it is on a big screen, maybe not. So, yeah, that is at Full Circle Book Co-op, as I said, November 22nd, 12 a.m. And, yeah, I think I'll try to make it out to that. I'll be here in town. I'll have to work Black Friday, so whatever. How many times can you go see Clerks on the big screen like that?
Not enough.
Not enough.
I unfortunately didn't get a chance to see it when, it came out originally in the theaters, so... I would be looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that is at Full Circle Book Co-op, just opened here in downtown Sioux Falls. We have a link to that on our Facebook page, so check that out. And we will hopefully be talking about more stuff that they will be doing. I've heard that this is going to be their first, midnight movie screening. So hopefully they bring a lot more of this stuff to the Sioux Falls area. And kind of keep that going because we need that here in Sioux Falls. Maybe something monthly where they do midnight movies and keeping that stuff going. So Clerks will be a lot of fun to check out. That's not the only thing we got going on here in Sioux Falls, though. On November 27th, we have Cinema Falls presenting Wildlife with Jake Gyllenhaal. And this is one of Cinema Falls' independent movies that they're bringing here to Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
If I remember correctly, it's an A24 movie.
I do believe so. And yeah, that'll be a lot of fun to hopefully check out. That will be on a Tuesday night. That's always kind of a rough night, kind of middle of the week, but...
It's Carey Mulligan, right?
Is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, a couple good actors in that movie.
Just a few. Jake Gyllenhaal's alright.
Oh.
I love Jake Gyllenhaal. Nightcrawler. Great movie.
I thought you were going to go for Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, he's good in that too. Donnie Darko. Come on, there's so much stuff to talk about.
Donnie Darko. Hands down. Good.
Great.
You want to talk about a good independent movie right there.
Donnie Darko.
How long did it take you to figure out that was a time travel movie?
Well, after I finished the movie, I figured it out. But, yeah. Seth Rogen's in that movie.
Very young Seth Rogen.
Yeah, like before Freaks and Geeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There's one of your top 5 right there.
What's that?
People in movies before you knew who they were.
Yeah, Seth Rogen and Donnie Darko. Looks like the next night, November 28th, Indie Vents is presenting Burning, starring Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead fame, who played Glenn, who unfortunately passed away just a few seasons ago.
I was going to say, be very careful how you word that.
What?
You're like, who just recently passed away? I'm like, no, Stephen Yeun is...
No, Stephen Yeun is alive and well. Glenn is not.
Glenn is unfortunately
has his face bashed in.
A little bit. Oh,
yeah.
Oh. Lucille will do that to you.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of good things about this movie.
Yeah,
especially Stephen Yeun's performance, which I'm glad to see.
One thing I do say is you just got to be knowing that it's a Korean movie, so it's going to be subtitled for us Americans who don't know Korean.
We don't like to read here in America.
No, we don't.
No.
That's why we listen to podcasts.
And thank you all for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Stephen Yeun's performance. Like maybe Oscar buzz for it.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. It's going to be probably one of those ones where the Oscar is going to go to Best Foreign Film, so he won't get a nod specifically. Because, I mean, how often do you ever hear of like a Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor in the major categories that are going to foreign films?
Yeah.
Has it happened? Yes. Does it happen often? Of course not. We Americans, we want our own shit.
No, especially with a TV actor.
There's plenty of TV actors in film.
Yeah, but that get like Academy Award recognition like that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Sometimes the Academy is salty about that stuff. They're salty about a lot of stuff.
Let's just put Meryl Streep in everything.
Streep.
Yeah.
She is the Streep. That's what we're going to call her from now on.
What do you call it?
Just the Streep.
The Streep.
Streep. Like a monster. Because every time she's in a movie, she's going to get nominated.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, Mamma Mia 2, she'll get nominated for this year.
As I say, wasn't that last year?
Was it?
I don't know.
No, it was this year.
I don't know. Well, I just know that it just came out on video. So if you guys want to, get your catch up on your ABBA and your Meryl Streep, Meryl Streep is available on to rent and to buy.
Yeah, Mamma Mia 2, here we go again. Yeah.
I want to talk about a weird eclectic cast too, like the ones you wouldn't picture all together, like Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth.
Have you ever watched Mamma Mia?
No.
It's not very good. The ABBA songs are fun.
You say it's not very good, and yet
I'm not the audience for it either.
I was gonna say you were not the.
My girlfriend loves Mamma Mia. She also loves ABBA. So
if you could put Mamma Mia together with, like, say, a horror villain, then you'd be all in.
I would be all in. Imagine Meryl Streep as a horror villain. I would love it.
I think that's like half of her work.
She's not a horror villain. Like I want to see her as a slasher villain, like frickin' Jason or Freddy. Anyway, as we were talking about Burning with Stephen Yeun.
How did we go from? Yeah, that's amazing. We go from Stephen Yeun to Meryl Streep.
I don't know, but I want to see Stephen Yeun as a villain. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's pretty much what we got going here here in Sioux Falls. 3 different things to check out this week. So definitely get out to at least one of them. Support these types of things so we can get more of them here in Sioux Falls.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun to go out and check out independent movies.
Yes, very much so.
Very much so. So, I don't know. You got anything else to bring up before we wrap this thing up?
We need to talk about. We need to, we need to subscribe. We're gonna put this on YouTube, so we definitely want us to, encourage people to subscribe to the channel, put on the notifications, that way you get notified when the podcast goes up.
Yeah.
We're now officially live on basically all the major platforms. We're live on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify.
So pretty much wherever you can get your podcast, we're there.
We are there.
We're there. Find us and subscribe to all. If you got all of them, do it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So on YouTube, do the same. Like, comment, subscribe. You can check out our Twitter, Instagram, just simply Backlot605.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, check that out. Again, as we said in the last couple episodes, if you have anything you want us to bring up on the show, tell us.
Yeah.
We'll fucking talk about it.
Obviously, we'll just deviate.
Yeah, we're only going 2 hours this time. This is a pretty long episode. We've got a lot of shit to talk about. Only true fans will listen, all 5 of you, and we love you.
Yeah, we love every single one.
We do. So check out also our website, backlot605.com. That's where you can find all of our podcasts, as well as our written stories. So, we'll be pushing those out with some, stuff from ourselves and other featured writers that we're trying to get to contribute to our website. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff on there. Check it out. You can hear a little bit more about us, what brought us to Backlot 605, and some of the short films we've done, all our podcasts, as I said. Yeah, you got anything else to tell our lovely listeners?
No, I just appreciate every single one of them.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for listening. This has been Backlot 605. I'm Casey.
I'm Brian.
We'll see you next week on the Backlot.